Hi, loveys. How are we? Pardon me. We know what happened. I have fought the desktop and it tried to take me out. Illegal, okay? Cat's assault, rude. But I think I have it all set up. Oh, wait, can I make myself? Hold, please. Oh, maybe she's getting too frisky here. How's that? I'm sorry. Maybe she's a wizard. You don't know. Okay, let's see. Hi, who's here, loveys? Okay, hi, Danny Thomas. How are ya? Mimi. Look, lovey, I got the single row of pearls are on tonight, and we are gonna talk, babe. Absolutely, Mia Bito. It is, ma'am. That's assault. Oh, Reggie, tell everyone how absolutely gorgeous they are. I love them all. Maddie Wags, did I touch you? Here we go. Consensually. Hi, Lovey. And hi, Kelly. Oh, look at I love you for being here. You are the best that ever lived. Now, what we are going to do tonight, babes, right, is I was going to do this in a different order because I put it in the order of operations. I was going to PEMDAS this, and we were going to go through the motion with Judge Canoni that she allowed the Gretchen Voss stuff. But now that we know I can't just like intermediate, like go into YouTube. So we have to do this first, and we're going to debunk some things because apparently last night in the cottage, we found out that Kevin Linehan, he's a doctor, babe. He knows all the things. He is probably going to be called by the Commonwealth to testify. How do I know this? Let's just listen. Listen to what is some magical Mr. Linehan. Oh, Mrs. Parks. Hello. Hi, Nanny Dew. And yes, we can all, our buttholes or our pearls, whichever one you want to clutch or clench. I love it all. All right. So now focus. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. Oh my gosh, stop it. She's incredible. What does this do? Oh, okay. No. Okay. She's cooking with gas effectively. All right, let's go, guys. We are and will be forever healed. We might need to do some Catholic hymns. We don't know where this goes. Catholic hymns or gangster rap, depending on how the spirit and the pearl clutching moves us. And we press play.
The hapless turtle just ran with this too. 3 hours before, she inserted herself into Miss Reed's search for O'Keefe and delayed her return to the Albert residence. So what was that about? All right. So at 5, Karen calls, I think it was at 4:57, Karen calls Jen McCabe, wakes her up, and says John's missing.
Okay.
But the defense describes it as Jen McCabe inserting herself into it.
No, that wasn't it.
Attorneys with the Delphi murders that smeared innocent people and put out some very bizarre theories. Is it always fair and love and lawfare? Is that how it works here?
I don't know.
You get to smear innocent people and create these falsehoods just to get your client off. Is that what it means to defend your client with the most vigor? I guess.
Excuse me, everybody in the class. Will the real Mary Malaki please stand up? Thank you for being here, Lovey. I love your face so much.
So, and then delayed the return to the Albert residence. But let's flip this on its head. Okay. So what happened was when Karen arrived at the McCabe house, she was determined. That's what the defense, though, says. That's them delaying her return to the 30.
No. I'm going to get there, guys. Don't worry.
It would have been much easier just to drive to 34 Fairview.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was 43.
Let's go to 34 Fairview.
3 minutes.
Does that really make sense?
Here it is.
All right. 3 hours before her discovery. So let's admit that and I've always said, and I still say it now, had that search been real, had Jen actually searched at 2:27 for how long to die in the cold, then yes, she knew. I don't believe that there would be if you could prove to me that search was made, then I would believe somehow Jen McCabe knew that John either was dying in the cold or was soon to be. That was the crux of the case. And so back in the summer of 2022, not knowing much about data, I believed, well, data is just data. But then we saw Adam Lally get in court and say, no, we dispute this. And we have an independent expert, who they were talking about was Jessica Hyde at the time, who will explain to you why that data is in error, that search was not made at 227, because there were 3 searches made, and Rich Green is saying that one was made at 627 and the other 2 were made at 623. That's not very logical. So they had to try to
God, Kim, I'm dyslexic. Sorry, guys. It wasn't 43. Love of goodness.
But I believe that's Latin for no prosecution. Short of that just result, Miss Reed's constitutional right to defend herself against these false allegations demands that she be permitted to obtain the critical information that law enforcement failed to obtain and preserve from the outset, namely communications and location information associated with the actual perpetrators of this crime, Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert. The requested information will undoubtedly further implicate Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, and others in the murder of John O'Keefe and the sinister cover-up that resulted in these false charges.
He's reading. Oh, sorry, guys.
I could never.
He's reading a filing from the defense from pretrial. Trial 1.
In the shoes of David Yannetti, or Alan Jackson. I'm sorry, I could never write those words. I could never sign off on that. I think it's disgusting because they know better.
You also would never be in the shoes of Alan Jackson or David Yannetti, just because here's why, Kevin. You are not a lawyer. Okay. And this is what I'm going to gently correct you tonight too, because you are also not a doctor, not a nurse. And the takes that you had in this was wild. Also, I received a non-consensual membership to his members. And I don't know what to do with myself, guys. Do I watch it? Am I a it feels like that's assault, right? But also at the same time, what do you got going on in there? Let me take a little look-see. Maybe there's something from the olden days when you were on the correct side that I'd like to take a gander at. I don't know. Oh no. Lisa Lou, tell me, can you hear me? Are we having now internet issues? Because I was kicked off a Twitter thing earlier, and I would like to say the bill is paid. Okay. I don't know why I would be not heard. Okay. Ashley, thank you. Ray says, not Ray, Reggie Ray says, says that you can hear me as well. Okay, good. I'm feeling froggy here, everyone. Let's continue.
Ms. Reed stands charged with the following crimes. All right. List the crimes here.
This is on
this is interesting here. So they're saying that the prosecution theories, all right, because this is, you'll see this is a little bit different. So the 2 theories advanced by the Commonwealth, one, that Miss Reed became suddenly angry with O'Keefe outside the home of Boston police officer Brian Albert and reversed into him with her vehicle, shattering her taillight by striking his head before fleeing the scene. So I don't know what they were basing that off of, because we know the prosecution that wasn't their theory at the trial.
Okay, babes. Now, this is where I found this very interesting. So that Officer John O'Keefe was found unresponsive in the early morning hours of January 29, 2022, in the front yard of the home of Boston police officer Brian Albert. Contrary to the Commonwealth's theory, photographs suggest that he was beaten severely and left for dead, having sustained blunt force trauma to both sides of his face, as well as the back of his head. Okay, we know that. But further up, it said that there was 2 theories advanced by the Commonwealth in support of the filing of the charges. Was that when Karen allegedly became angry with Officer John O'Keefe outside the home of Officer Albert, she reversed into him with her vehicle, shattering her taillight by striking his head before fleeing the scene. And or Ms. Reed became suddenly angry with Mr. O'Keefe outside Brian Albert's residence and struck O'Keefe in the head with a cocktail glass before reversing into him with her vehicle, shattering her taillight and fleeing from the scene. Both theories are largely born out of statements made by Jennifer McCabe to the police. I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to hold your pearls, clutch them, and potentially buttholes, because wow. Now I'm not going to give Kevin, Mr. Linehan, any poop here. Why? That is because remember when we see his incredible reenactment on court TV every chance we can, where the anime figure, or it could be a stick figure, puts his head down and he is struck in the head, potentially on the wrong side. Who cares? Okay. But that imaging was potentially made with a Commonwealth theory as the origin story. And we know that all villains were once happy children. And then something happened in a bar in Worcester. I don't know. But this also goes back, guys, to where we said, do you remember back in the olden days? Okay. I need you to turn back the hands of time. If you are new here, hi, I'm Kim. I'm sorry. This is insane. Nice to meet you. We'll talk later. But I'm a nurse and I really have a reason to be doing this right now. So we're just moving, flowing with the Lord. And I really think that this gives credence, in my opinion, to everything that was initially said when Karen Reed allegedly said, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Nobody thought, not a soul, not one soul on God's green earth thought that she meant I struck him with my vehicle. They meant, did I do a little, all right? Did I show you? Did I give a little slapperooski? Did I do a temperature check? Okay. I don't know. Or did I throw a cocktail glass at him? Are you pissing me off? Am I agitated at you? Did we just drive by Bella's mom's road? Is Jennifer McCabe bringing up names to chap my ass on a Friday night? I think she is. I don't know. Just some things to think about.
No, but maybe they did say something earlier. I don't know. But maybe the defense just falsely assumed that. Because I myself for months just believed that the taillight was shattered by John's head. And then the state told us, no, the frozen ground was the source of the head injury. But certainly at this time, the defense believed that that's what the state's theory was. Number 2 on that list, Karen became suddenly angry with O'Keefe outside Brian Albert's residence and struck O'Keefe in the head with a cocktail glass. Oh, so the
Mrs. Parks in the house. Thank you so much, Lovey. Okay, you got to cut the crap. Mr. Parks is going to cut you off. But I will clutch or clench whatever will make Plevin stop talking. I can't with this man, in my opinion, is a human trash bag. Now, Mrs. Parks, I need to know, is this Market Basket? Or is it maybe somebody more of a hefty brand? Is it a trash bag that is brand or generic? These things matter. Please let me know in the comments. And I'm not going to do this for long. It's only a couple minutes. Then I have another clip. Then we're just talking.
They're saying that there was a second theory that she struck John in the head with a cocktail glass before reversing into him with her vehicle, shattering her taillight and fleeing the scene. Well, yeah, I don't think the state's saying any of those. I don't know if they ever said any of those things, but they're certainly not saying it now. O'Keefe was found unresponsive in the early morning hours of January 29th. Contrary to the Commonwealth's theories, photographs suggest that he was beaten severely and left for dead, having sustained blunt force injuries to both sides of his face, as well as the back of his head. Well, that's not at all what the medical examiner or the specialist, I forget her name, the one with the skull tattoo on her arm, who studied the head and the brain.
Oh, you forget her name? Let me remind you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. Okay? That's who we are, babes. We are Renee Stonebridge. Okay? She's got a skull tattoo on her arm. She's got a sleeve. She has a Harley Davidson. She has a timeshare in Boca, bitch. Put some respect on her name. It's an intelligent woman, quadruple board certified. Let's hear what Kevin has to say. And Kevin, I didn't want to do this, but you're subliminaling me, okay? And this is not something that we do. We're going to have a rap battle for real, or I'd like you to just keep my name out your mouth. And also keep medical testimony out your mouth, honey. Because just a reminder, it's that opinions are like buttholes. So don't be one.
It's a commonly known thing when you get a serious head injury, which causes the brain to swell.
True.
And as the brain swells, because it's contained inside this hard case, more blood vessels burst, which leads to more swelling. And eventually it leads to swelling that reaches all the way to the front part of the brain. And you get that raccoon look that they talk about. That is.
Yeah, you're wrong. Okay. It's commonly known by medical professionals. Hey, Kev, it's just me. Come closer. You have no idea what you're talking about. And remember, Officer John O'Keefe had a 2.5-inch laceration to the right occiput of the back, near midline, but to the right of his skull. Okay. And his brain herniation that was from his actual brain to his brain stem. Trigger warning, this might be emotionally charging for you. I apologize. But the swelling of his brain from the side in which he was, here it is, Kev, impacted. Okay. You don't swell in the parts of your brain, which granted, yes, it is, you're hemorrhaging, all of you are going to swell, but it was herniating out of his magnum forum, okay? And it was going down into his brain stem. His brain did not get the other areas other than petechial hemorrhaging, not his subarachnoid hemorrhages, not his skull fractures from the basal all the way under his orbitals. But you know that, right? You know that. Come on, Kev. You know all the things, right? And you would know, Kevin, as somebody who is saying that this is commonly known, that when somebody strikes their head from a standing to a flat surface, okay, that they wouldn't have caused all the damage to the frontal, his frontal lobe, his bilateral temporal lobes. Okay, sweetheart, I know it's hard. But you know, when things are hard, sometimes you phone a friend. Are we playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I want you to call someone. Call anyone else. Okay? Maybe not the people who you had on your show that said what was happening for the peripheral IV, where you said, oh, there was 2 little pinpricks where holes or markings on Officer John O'Keefe's hand, right? When you said, oh, that could have been an IV, and everybody stroked your ego, and then everybody agreed, and they were like, yes, absolutely, IV. Except when a patient does not have a heartbeat, has no electrical current, and is 80 degrees, and has been out in the elements from 18 to 22 degrees for multiple hours, and has a rectal temp upon entry to Good Samaritan Hospital of 80.2 or 80 degrees, you would never start a peripheral line. He had an intraosseous placed in the field by very advanced and incredible paramedics. Okay, they were drilling and they were adding warm fluids in resuscitative of attempts for Officer John O'Keefe to save his life. But this is commonly known, right? Okay, thank you.
Well known to hospital workers and presumably well known to the defense team as they signed off on this. But they're saying that those were the results of trauma to the front of the face, and that is not at all what the medical examiners, and that's not what the evidence shows either. O'Keefe also suffered. So there's in addition to suffering numerous defensive wounds on his hands consistent with a brutal fight. No. He's got a bruise on the back of his right hand. That's it. There's no abrasions on his knuckles. None. There's no injuries on the left.
May the force be with you and also with you. Okay? Lift up your hearts. We lift them up to the Lord. What are we doing right now? I did want to just play a little video here, babes, because if we listened to Kevin, and I know it was difficult, but he mentioned that Trooper Paul back here, sorry, I just want to play it one more time.
Found unresponsive in the early morning hours of January 29th. Contrary to the Commonwealth's theories, photographs suggest that he was beaten severely and left for dead, having sustained blunt force injuries to both sides of his face.
Here it is.
As well as the back of his head. Well, that's not at all what the medical examiner or the specialist, I forget her name, the one with the skull tattoo on her arm.
Talking about my girl.
Who studied the head and the brain. It's a commonly known thing where you get... I
can't. Nope, this wasn't it. I don't know when he said
head
this.
Injury.
But let's actually, he didn't... When Trooper Paul got up in front of the entire universe, okay, internationally superstar, when he got up and did his accident reconstruction and he told us what happened, Kevin lets us know that the Commonwealth thought that Officer John O'Keefe struck his head on frozen ground. I've said that too. Can you believe it? I have said, he struck his head on the frozen ground. Well, look what I was able to pull up on a little clipperino, babes. I'm about to shock you. Shock and horror. All right, ready? Find it. Can we? It is a desktop. I'm showing a clip, and then hopefully I'm going to come back. Will this make me go away? I'm rolling Russian roulette. I've never done this.
The injuries Mr. O'Keefe was recorded as having sustained, according to the medical examiner, what, if any, relationship did those injuries have to you in relation to a pedestrian collision?
Sorry, say it again.
As far as the injuries that you were informed by the medical examiner that Mr. O'Keefe had sustained,
yes.
What, if any, relationship did those injuries have in relation to a pedestrian collision?
They are consistent with a pedestrian collision.
And how so?
Due to, we can break down each injury, to the arm, the lacerations of the arm from the taillight, the dent where the scratches for his hand could be. Those are something that would be consistent with this, in this particular case, with striking the Lexus.
Now, specifically with reference to this case, what, if any, analysis did you conduct with regard to kinematics?
Yes, I did a kinematics analysis in my report. Kinematics deals with the aspect of motion.
And I'm sorry, if you could expand upon that just a little bit and explain to the jury sort of what a kinematics analysis is.
So kinematics analysis is, like I said, it deals with the aspects of motion. Pedestrian crashes get labeled in certain types of how they interact. So in this particular case, I kind of labeled it as a forward projection crash with a side swipe. And what I mean by forward projection means that when a pedestrian gets struck by a vehicle, well, basically their principal impact forces are above the pedestrian center of gravity, as in this case where you get the higher back of the vehicle. When you get struck by something like that, it projects you forward in the direction of the vehicle. And in this situation where he gets more struck through the side of the vehicle along the taillight area, that it projected him to forward and then to the left due to this more of a side swipe manner.
Now, with respect to you mentioned the height of the vehicle, as far as the shape of the back of the vehicle, what, if any, relationship does that have in regard to you sort of labeling this as a forward projection / side-swipe collision?
Yeah, due to it being pretty flat, it's not the front of the vehicle where you have the hood and the pedestrian staying above the hood. It's the back of the vehicle. It's pretty flat and it's pretty higher up.
Now, with respect, you also made aware through your review of the medical examiner's report that there was injury to the back of Mr. O'Keefe's head.
Yes.
And based on your training experience in particular with pedestrian collisions, what, if any, significance did that have in relation to your opinion as to how Mr. O'Keefe interacted with the defendant's vehicle?
So when you look at the damage, he would have interacted with that left side of the vehicle. And when he got struck by the vehicle on the left side, it would have caused his vehicle to rotate kind of counterclockwise. And then when that rotation, he could turn it into his back, and his back could have struck the ground. I noted at the scene that there was asphalt curbing, which could have, somewhere he could have struck his head in there, or somewhere along any of the pavement would have caused damage. Most forward projection crashes have damage on both sides of the body.
Okay, babes, thank you. So that was amazing. I'm going to find things and put them in there. Who knew? Okay. Wish I was still able to be here, but then we wouldn't have to fight for our lives on a desktop with one screen. Okay. I just wanted to let you know that sometimes you go kind of clowner-clockwise. And this completely let us know that this is not frozen ground, because Trooper Paul says that he hit his head on the pavement. Now I'm sure Kevin will cover this, and he will let us know, because it's common knowledge for bartenders, for just any job, accountants, clearly just common knowledge, right? So if Officer John O'Keefe struck his head, allegedly, on the pavement, how would he have landed, potentially bounced, moved? What happened there? Because that's not, when we're spinning clowner-clockwise, where are we going? Because I don't know about you, but bodies, and now this is not okay. I cannot continue to reference songs, but when the bodies hit the floor, they don't come back up. They don't bounce, go, find themselves adjacent and parallel 10 to 12 feet into a yard. And we know darn right well that the injury that was sustained to the back of Officer John O'Keefe was the fatal blow. Okay, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it proud. For the people in the back, one more time. The whatever happened to Officer John O'Keefe's back right occiput of his skull was a final blow. And as horrific and horrible as that must have been, I will let you know that he was rendered unconscious. Dr. Irene Scorti-Bello told you that. Anybody will say that, anybody with a medical degree will say that was an absolute knockout until, right, when his brainstem herniated. And then your autonomic nervous system and your responses of things that happen in our bodies, babe, our breathing, our respiratory system, everything, brain function, it was no longer able to do things that we don't think about, that just are automatically done by our bodies. And that gives me solace, right? And I pray that he did not feel the pain of that once it occurred. But this is so tragic, and now we find multiple kind of theories that are still going around as we are heading into trial number 2. If we're going to go back and look at the Commonwealth testimony and see, guys, that Trooper Joe Paul couldn't even tell us that it was frozen ground that he struck his head on. And I didn't try to trip Trooper Paul up. I didn't put in cross-examination. This was him and Mr. What If Any Lally. This was what he should have known. But instead, babes, what was he doing? He was hitting that Hydro Flask like there was no tomorrow, stalling, looking for any way out. He said, Jesus, take the wheel. I am not worthy. I understand that feeling. But if you're going to put your name down on something, honey, you really got to be sure. And we can't say things like kinda. He kind of went counterclockwise, you know? All right, let's see what else. Just a couple more minutes of Sir Kevin.
Which causes the brain to swell. And as the brain swells, because it's contained inside this hard case, more blood vessels burst, which leads to more swelling. And eventually it leads to swelling that reaches all the way to the front part of the brain. And you get that rack.
Hi, babe. Jason Lizotte, he asked, Nurse Kim, I can't remember, was heart rhythm, was he in when found? He was in asystole, honey, for the entire time. He never got a rhythm.
Raccoon look that they talk about that is well known to hospital workers and presumably well known to the defense team as they signed off on this. But they're saying that those were the results of trauma to the front of the face, and that is not at all what the medical examiners, and that's not what the evidence shows either. O'Keefe also.
Don't make me summon. I'm doing it, guys. We've got to do it. On your mark, get set. Shall we? Shall we call the owls and sing to them? Who? Where? What evidence? What are you talking about, sir? Shows that it didn't happen. Nothing, in my humble opinion, okay? It's all my opinion, but medically backed up by 17 years of clinical experience, a national wound certification, and a legal nurse consultant certification. You did own a bar. I get it. Common known.
Suffered. So there's in addition to suffering numerous defensive wounds on his hands, consistent with a brutal fight. No. He's got a bruise on the back of his right hand. That's it. There's no abrasions on his knuckles. None. There's no injuries on the left hand. There's no abrasions on the right knuckles. There's just a bruise on the back of his hand, and it's hard to imagine. Listen, I worked many years in the bar industry, been around some fights, a lot of them, and the idea that you get in a fight with someone and the only bruise you're going to get is on the back of your hand. I don't even know how you'd get it on the back of your hand. I never got any there. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
That is one place I would listen to Kevin, right? It's because he is saying, I have seen several fights, right, in the bar that he had. That makes sense. But also, Kevin, if you saw Officer John O'Keefe and you didn't have all of your knowledge that you have and whatever that you have decided in the book that you've written, okay, you've taken a position, good sir, and that position equals Karen Reed is guilty. It is not, if you came upon the scene and you saw that, and you saw Officer John O'Keefe's eyes, if you saw everything as it was, it would have made sense to you that maybe there was a fight, maybe an altercation did happen, right? But it doesn't fit your narrative right now. Okay, thank you.
Then it says O'Keefe suffered a cluster of deep scratches and puncture wounds to his right arm. So here's where they're going to come in with the
Here
dog
it
theory. These injuries to O'Keefe's right arm are consistent with bite marks and or claw marks from an animal, more specifically a dog. And as part of the motion here, they're trying to get, at the time,
Also, everybody, I'd like you to take a moment and just say, give thanks, give praise for Dr. Marie Russell, who has been a pillar of society and was the first Malden, I believe, pardon me, somebody correct me, was it Rubia, Malden? Where the heck was she the first woman police officer? Stop it. And then she goes on, gets medical degrees, works in a prison system, works in a hospital system, has peer-reviewed studies for German shepherds, for police training animals, their bite marks, all of their bites and claws and injuries, etc., from trained canines, right? But it doesn't matter. She was an emergency room physician forever. She has more knowledge in her pinky than I have. I'm going to need you to put, again, just like Birdman said, a little speck on her name as well. OB, are you here? We've got to do it for Dr. Russell.
Information from the Canton Animal Control and the Canton Clerk's office to try to learn about what fights the dog may have been in. 4 months after O'Keefe's death, Brian Albert went to great lengths to dispose of critical evidence by making sure Chloe, his family dog of 7 years, simply disappeared. This is another reason why this theory took off, right? Because it's so easy for the defense to just kind of create these elements and make them look dark and mysterious. But Chloe is still alive and is in Vermont.
Ooh,
and if the defense wanted to, they could go up there and get.
Who's that? Kev, I challenge you not to a duel. I challenge you to a Chloe off. Okay? You say close up in VT? Go get her. Go visit. Take pictures. Don't have to bring her home. If she's on a farm, she's happy, she's healthy, she's living with the chickens, okay? If she has a friend, if it's Milo and Otis, I don't know. I have to make up my own story that she's living her best life. Because I sometimes get a feeling, I get a feeling of impending doom, Kevin, that she's not well, that she's not with us anymore. That she's Charlie in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Do you want to have a nervous breakdown tonight, everybody? Don't watch it. Never watch it. I can't handle animals passing away. Justice for Chloe. Chloe is family. Family is forever. Okay.
Get their own dental impression. Get their own DNA. There's nothing stopping the defense from doing that. The reason they don't do it is because it's more, they know it's not true, so it's more convenient for them to just create this vague impression. If you're cooking up a defense third-party culprit scheme, you don't want to get too specific. You don't want to dig too hard. You just want to create enough to create reasonable doubt. You're not trying to solve the case, because if you solve the case, it might end up leading back to your own client. So you're just trying to get just enough evidence. You don't want to. Rich Green didn't dig too hard looking into that data either. The ARCA guys didn't dig too hard. They never looked at the vehicle data. So it's just getting just what you need and no more. Let me just make sure my mic is working. All right, good.
Your mic is working. I love that.
Hang in there and chat, guys. I haven't been able to see it. Looking out quickly, Rena.
So that is interesting that Kevin is saying to us, all you need is reasonable doubt. And babes, I have to share one more thing. This is a woman. Oh, I can't do it. Can I do it? Oh, this is risky. It's a woman. It's attorney Rubia. Could I send it to myself? Potentially. Wait a sec. And she is, oh, this is good. I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it in an email. We're going to work it all out. Okay. Please bear with me, my humans, because this is a big deal. She goes through a reasonable doubt checklist on a guy named The Expert. She also was on our pal Broken Baker's stream at one point. I've searched high and low. I tried to find her on the internet. I tried to find her in like on the Twitter. She's nowhere. Okay. She's a ghost, as most normal people are. Okay. But not me. I'm sitting there trying, searching. And she did this stream with these The Expert humans on their YouTube channel. And it was brilliance. Brilliance. Hold, please. I'm going to find it. Well, I have it. I just got to email it to me, put it up, and then do the clip. You know what I'm saying. Talk among yourselves, children. Oh, let's play something nice. Okay, maybe not this. Oh, I can't do that either. All right, sorry. Bear with me. Sorry, Kevin.
Hi, good to see you.
4 more seconds of screen time.
I hope you can make it at 9 again.
Oh, I hope you can as well. Oh,
and
maybe
Jen says, Kevin, exactly. If they really believe Chloe bite John, why didn't they go get the bite impressions? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jennifer. And RL, I hope you email me that so I can, if you haven't managed. Oh, you have
Wait, why would they have to go get Chloe's bite impressions? Shouldn't that be something that that the defense would be provided? As evidenced by, they made sure to swab Officer John O'Keefe's clothing, right? They didn't swab his arm, no tissue sample, but they did swab clothing that was in water, wet, cold, a year and a half old. Do you know that DNA does deteriorate? Did you know that? It's common knowledge, right, Kev? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it will stay forever. You don't know. Okay, sorry. Focus. It's happening, guys. I'm going to get this. I'm finding it. Or could we get somebody who has this clip? Does anybody know what clip I'm talking about? Who am I? Why am I here? I'm going to find it. Scoobity-bee-bop. Let's do some scat rapping while we're here. It's really quite magical, though. I'm going to find her. I know she's here. She's so smart. Now, when did I download this? It feels recent. Recenter. Maybe. Nope. We might be getting warm, guys. I wish I had a better clip to show you. I should have things lined up. And I'll do better. Okay, I'm working on myself. Nope, that's too close. Is it? I don't know. I know I thought I saw it recently. Does anybody know who Attorney Rubia is? Have you heard of her? She's a genius, in my opinion. She's got no skin in the game, and yet her rant, I got to tell you guys, I felt something inside I haven't felt in a while. I was like, what are we doing right now? You're magic. No, it would be too easy if I did find it, right? Yeah. I'm gonna try for 30 more seconds. If I can't, guys, I will let this go. Okay. But can I? Probably not. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna feel badly. I want you to see it because we're together. Is this it? No, still no. Oh Lord. Oh, okay. Guys, I was wondering if you could let one of our friends, Beanbag Ron, if anyone could give him an update on Dave Cullinane's, his massive rise to fame because of his mushroom coffee. Could you all, if anyone has a brand deal, please feel free to sell it to him. Let him know the benefits of the mushroom coffee. Let him know that Cully has been in peak performance for, 3 to 6 months, in my opinion. Yeah, this isn't going to happen. Well, this hurts. This one hurts. Why do I have so many things on this phone? Like, delete something, like the emails. I'm not normal. We'll say that out loud. Okay. Still no. Oh, I just received an email. Did I? Gosh, I just looked at this. It must have been in September or October. Okay, I got to get over it. Anybody, what do we like here? He's got 0 body fat due to the mushroom coffee. Beanbag Ron, if that's not something that you take into consideration, I demand it. Look at this. Look at this right here. Here's the brand. Okay, no brand deal. This is all just emotional support. You're going to go get it. You're going to call a guy. His name is Steve. He's on Cully's page. He provides the stuff. What you do is take a tablespoon of the rise, 8 to 10 ounces of hot or cold water. I would never recommend cold anything. And then you're going to just enjoy it. All right. It is going to change your life. It has shiitake for immune support, turkey tail for your digestion, king trumpets, which is not anything that has to do with a band. Lion's mane for focus. We know I don't take it. And reishi for stress relief. Haven't had any since 2010. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to let it go. If anybody am I going to let it go? Okay, we can't keep doing this. Get a life. Get a life. Kim. Crud. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to talk to you about it. She gives this dissertation, right? Because I have an elephant brain, and you know how I remember the things. So this is her, right? She gets on this channel is called The Expert, right? And it's on the YouTube. Again, friends with our friend Broken Baker. Okay. So it's attorney Rubia. She is so smart, so pretty. And she says stuff to me that I am like, I clutch my own pearls hearing her talk. She gives me a 5-minute speech that could have been the closing argument in Commonwealth v. Karen Reed. She goes, if you have questions about how Officer John O'Keefe had landed behind the fire hydrant, but there was taillight found on in front of it and around when Trooper Paul's report said that everything should have been linear, and we know how things work as is physics and shit. She said, if you have questions about that, that's reasonable doubt. If you have questions about how the car got up to 24.2 miles an hour in less than 5 seconds, that is reasonable doubt. She says, if you have questions why at the beginning of the trial, the Commonwealth stated that Officer John O'Keefe was struck at 12:45, but we know that Karen Reed connected back to One Meadow Wi-Fi at 12:36 a.m. That is reasonable doubt. And the way she said it, clutched and clenched both. I want to meet her. She is our best friend from out of town, guys. I'm telling you, I stalked. I did comments on this video. I sent private messages to that expert man. I was like, hey, boo. I was like, you're so cool. Do you know how one would reach the attorney Rubia? He said, no, bitch. No, he didn't even answer me, but I get it. Thank you, Mark Cunningham. Abnormal. Yes, I am. And that's an alibi, mother truckers. Yes, it is, Britt Happens. You said it, Rachel. You said it. I would never. Yes, I would. So, attorney Rubia, if you happen to be, on the World Wide Web and you see me, how you doing? I got a place. I just need you to give me that reasonable doubt speech. And then, oh my God, babes, you know what else she said? She gives a little bit of shit to Alan Jackson. Oh, woman, hear you roar. Now, she doesn't give shit to Alan Jackson in a bad way because she's like, oh, love your face. But she also says, we don't need your movie, babe. We don't need it. All we need is reasonable doubt. I don't need this to be this whodunit. You don't know who did what, where, when, how, why. She goes, because no one investigated this. And then she says, so we should have always been putting pedal to the metal on reasonable doubt. How many times did Alan Jackson bring reasonable doubt up in his first closing? Riddle me that, babes. Do you remember? How many times? It may shock you. It's between 0 and 1. So, and that's what we've always said, right? We always said 26 times. No, yeah, 0 and 1. Thank you. Okay. So, Danny, don't frig with my soul, okay? With your, what did I call that? It's not a duckle. It's a duckle. It's 26, you son of a gun. You got me. Okay. 0 times. And this is where I have always said myself, just personally, I know that a lot of you have very strong and in very well-intended theories. We can all think, we all know that Karen did not strike Officer John O'Keefe in reverse at 24.2 miles an hour on January 29th, 2022. She did not get her car to that speed ever, never mind with her pedal pressure down at 74% in inclement weather. It just did not happen. His injuries do not work. It doesn't make sense, babes. There is no way that you are struck by a vehicle on the arm. You go counterclockwise and you strike your head on the pavement, allegedly. Then you you ricochet, if you will, and you tuck and roll and are at the one space that is your final rest. That's where your final rest is. And then Lucky comes and plows. And that taillight that was in the street magically does not move down the street. It just automatically is pushed into the yard of 34 Fairview, where this accident allegedly took place. Now, I don't know about you, babes, but I trust and believe in Mr. Trotter. Mr. Trotter is my best friend. He also potentially was a character in the Pixar film Up. Obsessed. He told me about what? He told me about Frankentruck. He told me about F-150s, F-250s, F-350s. I know all the Fords. Fords are his truck of choice. Okay? Built Ford tough, if you will. And he says that the boys, that he taught every single plow, including Lucky, how you do your passes, right? For plowing. There is not a possibility that 45 pieces of taillight would have been in Brian Albert in his lawn. Doesn't make sense. Can't happen. What would that be on like a mathematical scale? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but I feel any mathematicians in the room, please stand up. Do we know what that would be? 45 pieces found for 3 weeks. And everything, not one in, as Matt McCabe would refer to as the neighbors, as the, quote, Asian neighbors. Sure, they're wonderful and incredible. Find a name, dickhead. Anywho, I digress. Or that it could be all the way down at a stop sign. Doesn't make sense that everything just stopped, stood still, and then the plow moved everything right into that lawn, because we do the middles, we do passes, and then at the very, very end of the snow event is when you do the side. I have questions. Missy! Hey, huh? Hi, lovey. How are you? Nice to see you, beautiful. So, I am. How are we? I love you, children. Every time I see them, they bring me joy. So, what am I doing? I don't even know. But that's what I wanted to talk about. That was Kevin. And now how do I move this? That's assault, ma'am. We're gonna look at us. Look at us. She's brand new. Okay. So Mizzy is my hero to LA. That makes sense. That feels right. It feels as though it's always been. I don't know. Adderall, schmatterall, ready to get shroomed out. Thanks, NK. Listen, I don't know what you voted on the shroom for Massachusetts, but it didn't pass beanbag Ron. So I'm going to need you to get a hot dose from your boy Cullinane. And then you buy this, okay? Find your rise, it says. Rise and shine, babe. Okay. Nurse Kim, Broken Baker, Karen Reed case. Did she do it or is it a cover-up? Day 27, timestamp start at 7:50. Do you think I'm going to do this? Woo. Ooh, ooh. I'm going to give it a whirl. I might not be here when you find me. Nope, that's the wrong one. Who's this? No. Oh no. Okay. Oh, maybe I can. No, I can't do that. All right. Sorry, Lovey. I can't do that right now because I don't have enough skills. But I am going to post that. And I'm going to ask Broken Baker if he knows the lady. What do I do? Stop sharing? Is this it? Who is she? Okay. Ooh, that was good. That was real good. That is good there. And now I've put myself, okay, I'm here. I'm here. We're here. We're all together again. We're here. We're here. Okay. So next, I just wanted to talk a little, I wanted to talk a little bit and see how you guys felt emotionally about Judge Cannoni, who may or may not be full of baloney. After her ruling, kind of, it felt rude on the media stuff from Gretchen Voss, the interviews 3, the notes, the handwritten chicken scratch. Also, when she had counsel present, when she didn't have counsel present, when she was recorded, when she was not recorded, on the record, off the record. And this has bigger implications than Karen Reed. I understand that the defense didn't give a shit. The defense doesn't care, babes, but I do. I do. Because I care. I care for truth and justice for all. Today on Twitter, I put the Girl Scout pledge. I said, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. That's not sometimes. This isn't something I did in daisies, okay? Because I thought I was gonna, just half-ass this shit. I live up to it on the reg. We help other people at all times. Not when it's convenient, not when it's the cool thing to do. We firmly and earnestly and using our brains have come to the conclusion that Officer John O'Keefe, God rest his soul, it's not justice for him if Karen was not responsible for his death and she is sent to jail, right? That's not justice for Officer John O'Keefe. You think I would say he might be, doing a little, he might be counterclockwise, spinning out on the rings of Saturn up in heaven. He might be saying, listen, G.O.D., we got to figure this out because we can't let this happen to Kat, our girl. Look at her. Look at our girl. Look at, this is what he's saying. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, let's just throw this in here. I don't know if you know her. Maybe you do. This is how Dave knows her. All right. There's Dave and Kat. Oh, I didn't even do it. And then here's me and Cal. Right? Oh, just kidding. Oh. What does she look like? She looked like she's, you know, just a mastermind sitting behind a computer telling Turtle Boy what to do. I'm sorry. I think that people have been trying to tell Turtle Boy what to do since the day he was born, babe. And I don't think he listens. I think he's going to do what he's going to do. He might have an allergen. You say, hey, do this shit. And he goes, you say go A, he's going Z. And if you think that Karen's got the grip on him, I think that you're Delulu. Oh, Maddie Wags. Okay, listen, from your lips to God's ears. I am available as the intern if Mr. Yannetti needs me. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. Stop it. Look the other. Don't stop it. Don't look at me. I might have to turn my camera off. This is not a big deal for a lot of people, but for me, I feel something. Mr. Yannetti follows me on the Twitter. Do with that what you will. Maybe does he think that I have incredible takes and I write beautiful medical passages? Or does he think I'm funny? I'll take either. Could I be both? I don't know. It's happening. It's all happening. We're manifesting here, Mac. We manifest. Kersey Nursey M, I would like you to know. Oh, both. Absolutely. Absolutely, Carrie Ann. And Kersey Nursey M, got your email, babe. I'll be emailing you back while I'm listening later. Okay. Ooh. What? Mary Malaki. I wish I was caught up on my EDB, Emily D. Baker streams. I recall her saying something about if there was a third person in the room with KR, Karen Reed, David Yannetti, and Boss, client attorney privilege isn't protected in Massachusetts. Okay, but thank you. Mary, that's why you are here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hi, Cal. I'm gonna have to maybe just let you know that we also love you. All the loveys here love you, support you, and we believe. We're gonna continue believing like we are at Super Bowl 51, Tom Brady, third quarter. Why do I know this? I don't know, because it was the night that I believed that the Holy Spirit found himself within the hands of Julian Edelman as he caught a football. And as Tommy Terrific just kept going. From the largest deficit that was ever come back from that far behind to a victory. Marky Mark left the fucking stadium. He said, I can't watch my boys. I can't watch it. Is that how we feel right now, babes? You can't leave. We got 3 minutes left in the third, and we win. As Bill Belichick always told us, there is one thing that we need to do in this life. Just do your job. I don't need fancy shit. Do your job. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not done. I love you. Okay. So with that being said, as it relates to if there was another attorney there, Mary Malaki, thank you for putting me back into the driver's seat and reminding me as the squirrels ran in my brain where we were going. Yeah, I think that the attorney-client privilege stuff is a little bit less to me the concern, as much as the concern is the media outlet. I care if your off-the-record notes are going to be admissible in court, which, yes, they are, because Massachusetts is one of only 2 states in the continental U.S. that does not have laws that protect journalists. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. How very red state of you. You little snob. Cost $1 million to live. Okay, whatever. Who the fuck? Who am I? But I wanted to tell you guys, I have a little bit of hope. And I was feeling froggy, like we might have to write letters to the senators and to our Senate, because watch what I have. God, see, listen, sometimes I am slightly impressive. I impress myself. I don't know if I'm actually impressive, but I get excited. Okay, what did I posted? I posted something and it is accurate. So let's go back and we are going to discuss. It is, there was a House bill that was passed in January of 2024. Oh, you stupid ass. It's me. I'm a stupid ass. No. Twitter is actually hard. I just got a Twitter in January too, and it's a little difficult to navigate at times. I'm like, where am I? Am I in a reply? Where does the post go? Where does it live? Kind of like the desktop. And that might be that I am getting old. Please don't judge me. My children make me feel bad anyway. I just want to tell you guys this bill so that we can write to the Senate. Okay. Ooh, is this what I did? Okay. Nope, that's not it. There is, that was after that. When was that filed? Oh, Lord. Okay, guys, sorry. It's got to be right here, right? However, there's no, it's the Press Act. I just wanted to get, it's like HR 404. I can't remember. Well, maybe it's in my replies. Oh, Lord. I replied a lot today because I was feeling froggy once I was included in a collage with Emily D. Baker, Mary Malaki. I lost my shit. Someone said we were horrible people and that we will pay for our sins. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for including me with Turtle Boy and Mike Crawford and the Glarer and Brandy Churchwell and Emily D. Baker. I was like, and Mazza. Mazza looked like he had just eaten 12 wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's incredible. Who am I? It felt elite. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. She also hated us. And yet I'm going to always find the positive. I'm going to look for the positive. Is there a lesson? I don't know. We should have. Oh, I think we do have. Do we have music? Shall we? Shall we be serenaded by one Mr. Lo-Fi Towel Jams of Grant Smith Ellis?
Ma'am. That's assault. Ma'am. That's assault. Ma'am. Rape. Ma'am. Drop that chair. Ma'am. That's assault. Ma'am. That's assault. Ma'am. Rape. Ma'am. Rape. Drop that chair here. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. Ma'am. That's assault. Ma'am. It is. You cannot touch me like that. Oh, I will be telling them exactly what happened. Rape. Ma'am. These people are going to eject you from this line. That's assault. That's assault. We have video of her just touching.
Break it down, guys.
Excuse me. Ma'am. Excuse me. Rape. That's assault. Excuse. Drop that chair. Ma'am. You cannot touch.
And we'll pause that right there. I'm going to have to Google it. Okay, Press Act. And I should have done that earlier. Press Act. Okay, perfect. Here it is. We win. Should have done. Sorry, guys. All right. So it says this bill prohibits the government from compiling journalists. Nope, not compiling, compelling, spell. To provide and providers of telecommunication services, example, home and internet companies. No, phone and internet companies to disclose certain protected information except in limited circumstances, such as to prevent terrorism. Oh, can you say that? Terrorism. Okay. And this was passed, HR 4250. Mike, mark it down. Mark it down. HR, no, I'll mark it down. And I'll put a post. HR 4250, January 2024. The Senate, I lied. The House of Representatives gets up. They're in their session. You know what they do? They go, babes, we got this bill. It's like to prevent spying on humans and to keep sources private. So are you saying that sources are sources and that your information you shouldn't have to give because it's the filtration or the release of information should be provided to the public? That is the biggest concern, as evidenced by, hi, Kat. How you doing, girlfriend? That is the biggest concern for government and for the First Amendment rights that we all have. And journalists do have that right. So it gets passed. We love it. We live for it. We say, thank you. It has been waiting. It's at the Senate. It's living there. Okay. It's chilling. And they just haven't taken a vote. But a unanimous pass. Now, if this bitch gets passed, babes, if we could get our Senate to put it through, the Press Act, send it through, we would have federal law that would protect journalists, i.e. Gretchen Voss, Metro Corp, Boston Magazine, and that would trump ho. That's assault. One more time for us, Grant.
Like that.
Okay, I hate that word, but I love this song. Oh, we're just going there. Okay. Anywho, it is magic. This magic moment. Who shall we write? If you live out of state, look them up. And every state has 2 senators. So let's talk shit to senators and say, hey, I really would love you. Where is HR 4250? Okay, I'm going to need you to put that on the floor because I am a constituent. If you don't, mofo, then you know what's going to happen to you? I'm voting differently. Because I believe that off-the-record material should be off the record. Do you know how many people will not ever speak to a news outlet? And I asked, okay, this is what I did yesterday. I asked Ted Daniel, not publicly, privately. No, not privately, publicly. I asked Ted Daniel, Christina Rex. I asked Jess Machado. I asked Turtle Boy. You guys got any comments here? Because her ruling, her making that about face ruling is very interesting. There is implication for journalists. There is implications for residents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You know what the fuck I'm not doing, guys? I'm not talking to anybody. Now I got to be worried that you're like the popo. I'm going to, if I'm dropping a dime, if I'm blowing a whistle, if you will, I don't want that getting back to the man. Just saying. Susie Q Seaport says, good luck to any reporter getting an interview now. Susie Q Seaport with a lucky, a little bit of a chamois, obsessed with you, smart and pretty. No one is going to do anything. Nobody is going to trust the press. We already don't like you. No offense. But we're already like, okay. When they tell us shit. So now when you say, oh, I'm trying to do this investigative journalism and I'm trying to find the truth, which I know, Bob Ward, I tagged him. Bob Ward, that's my guy. Ted Daniel, I love Ted Daniel. Christina, smart and pretty Rex. Come on. Fight for your right to party. And also, I did, or I might have done a call to action or a call to something to Boston Magazine on a TikTok. I said, don't give it. I said, fight back. I said, don't hand it over. Tell them to fuck off. Say we appeal it. You guys got a legal team of $1 trillion. And again, the defense doesn't give a shit. They're like, take it. And may it open up more can of worms. Could it backfire on Judge Cannone? Could it backfire on Skanky Hank? I don't know. I think it could. Could it be a sham wow? What an incredible invention. And I bought it on an infomercial. Rise Coffee. The Glarer, how are you, Will? This is unhinged tonight. She needs some Rise Coffee. She's going to try it and really pull her thoughts together because we're squirreling very hardcore tonight. Absolutely. And Mizzy, our other best friend, says they should appeal to the SJC. I agree, Mizzy. Let's throw it. Let's keep it. Let's just, tie it up for a while. Okay, babes. Now oh God. All right. I'm going to go let's do rapid fire. Ask me random shit if you want to. Do we have anything that we need to discuss? Because I know that you have somewhere else to be at 9 o'clock. So let's do the first 5 cues. And then I'll go through our super shoopas. But did this make sense? Did you understand? And I also I just want you all to know deep in your soul that no matter what any evidence ever shows or proves, I would never tell you something. If something comes back and it's fuckery. It's on a level of 1,000. I'm calling it. If it didn't look good for Kat, I'd say that doesn't look great. I don't like certain things about this case, but facts are facts, and fundamental medical findings have informed my decision. And that is why I hold it very seriously. Okay. All right, lovies. I'm going to go. We've got Joseph Kane. He sent me a super sticker. I'll come back in the chat, but I think you all are just talking to each other. And it's a love fest. Why? Because our chat rocks. Are we having a love fest on a Saturday night? I can't. I'm here for it. Maybe it was Grant. Maybe it was the thought of attorney Rubia. Maybe it's me and Kat. I don't know. Joseph Kane, love your face. Super sticker. Yeah, I appreciate you. Christine Mitchell, £5, says, Nurse Kim, thank you very much for covering with love from the UK. Love right back to you, Christine Mitchell. I would like to have a spot of tea with you someday. I do have an ancestor or two from the UK. Donna Rocha, you are everything that I have ever needed. And I appreciate you. Mrs. Parks, we've already talked about clutching and clenching together. And we did decide that maybe Mr. Linehan is a generic brand. Okay. Then Joseph Kane gifted a Nurse Kim membership. I can't even handle it. I can't. Loving Retirement sent, I love this channel. I need my own slot of pearls. I love that. We will get you pearls. You will be pearled, my queen or king. And also look at your dogs. Are you kidding me right now? He has been here before. The one on the right, okay? He is a regal man. Okay? This is at least his 3rd lifetime. He also knew a small boy, and he had a hunting injury, and that's why he came back with those eyes. My little homeboy on the left, this is his first go around as a puppy, and he's glad he found you. That's in my head. Ooh, that's probably not something you should tell everyone. Laura Riker says $1.99 for the trash bag is urban luggage by Dune Reed. Okay. And Britt Happens, who, babes, sorry if you're here out of the, oh my gosh, do we have 800 people here right now? Guys, I do such better streams. I am an asshole. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Sorry you've had to live through this. Britt Happens is our lovey, okay? She is one of our best friends from out of town. She is my TikTok guru champion. She's starting her YouTube tomorrow. I'm posting it. Britt, can you say in the chat what the handle of the YouTube is? because she asked me to be her maiden voyage. I'm her maiden voyage. I am not worthy to receive you, Britt, but only say the word and I shall be healed. Okay, thank you. I love you. I can't wait for tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Then we have Dewey, who hashtag can't stop, won't stop, and said, we put our stock in a Kimimatics analysis. Absolutely. I was Kimness intimidated by some people on Twitter. I didn't appreciate it recently, but a kinematics, yeah, I'm in. Then we have Melissa. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. Megan Easton is the queen of what you ask. She is the queen of non-consensual memberships. She doles them out. Her and Mary Malaki, they do a couple of things that me and Auntie Deb, we can't say no to. We are just handing things out. You're going to take a look back there. Will you like what you find? Will you want to stay? I don't know. Russian roulette. Okay. Then we have, I got to know, 3 liters of blood loss. Is his H&H known? We did not get that. I got to know. We didn't get an H&H. It was not discussed. I would love it. Misty Yannetti, I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if any reads are watching. Send it to me. Send me some records. I'll take a gander. I wouldn't talk about it. You know? Scorpion says she has an amazing background. Are we talking about this? I find it lovely too. And then Leona said, super sticker, just super sticker. Leanna Henderson, thank you so much for being here. Beanbag Rod, I love you. I hope that I've made an impact in your life. Joseph Kane, another super sticker. You guys are too kind. Jody617 says, I absolutely love you, NK. You are my people and you are mine. Okay. This is our home. This is where we go. We speak to each other. We do FaceTimes. It's our shit. It's our jam. You're my best friends from out of town. I'm yours. We like this. Then Detective Daffy DeQuack became a YouTube member. Daffy, I appreciate you. Then we've got, oh geez, Mary Malaki comes in hot. We talked this morning. I can't even handle my life. She's a celebrity. In my honest opinion, Misty Yannetti is following you because you bring it to the table every damn stream, and you are effing funnier than all the rest. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm ending the show. I'd like you all to read that a couple of times. I want it to sit with you. What do you think? Does it feel true or false? I don't know. Just look at me and Cap. Okay, I'll be back. Bye. Thank you, Mary. No one should let me be on the internet. It's sad. I love you, Mary Malaki. You are my human. You can get a McRib delivered or DoorDash to you by OB. Then we've got Lori909. Thank you so much for the super sticker. My lover, Romy with cheese, has been a member for 3 months. If you're looking for Betty O, she deleted her account. She did. After putting me on the All-Star panel, and I thanked her and told her that me and the Glera were going to be heading down to a local centerfolds to give back to the community once the YouTube decides to, give me the monies from the desktop. That's assault. I don't know. Glera, are you available? There's a centerfolds in Worcester. Woo, okay. Get right, Kim. Lori J1733. I'm from Waltham. Hey, girl, hey. Born and raised. My dad was a detective. He has passed away now, but my other 2 brothers are retired officers, and they both know Karen is innocent. We love you, Nurse Kim, for all that you do. Free Karen Reed. Laurie J1733. Do you know my dad? Who's your dad? Well, don't tell me here. Tell me privately. I thought you were just going to be like, I was at your house. I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to be like, I know that your grandmother lives on Copeland Road. She lives off Trapella Road. Take her for, like, what were we doing right then? I felt like we were actually cousins. I love it. Thank you so much, Laurie J. And Megan Johnson says, we should contact Bunny XO and Jelly Roll. We should. For what? For the podcast? Or for a moving concert for the Defense Fund? Thoughts? Then we have Maddie Wags. It says, Kim, what are your thoughts on, what are the rights on the kids in Canton damaging that house and kicking a bunny? I have a lot of thoughts, Maddie Wags. I talked about it the other night, that I did get confirmation from another detective, another chief, that allegedly Chief Helena Rafferty she has reached out to multiple other departments. They have recused themselves, and that they're looking to do 50 to 60 witness interviews. Hopefully they have recordings, or, somebody signs some shit. But what I will say is this: the fact that young men found it appropriate to not only walk into a home that was new under construction for a girl that they weren't friends with, that they weren't invited to, and to do $100,000 of damage to her property. I want to tell you something, babe. They're not locals. They were moving, right? And they're not going to be intimidated. They're going to get their money, honey. And the brazen brass balls on these boys posting that shit to Snapchat couldn't be me. Do you realize I wouldn't have had an ass to sit on? And I know that the times are different. I talk, you know what I mean? Like, I talk a lot of shit. Like, I get frustrated and I'll say, oh, you kids, blah, blah, blah. But like, I've never even spanked a kid. I don't spank my children. Like, and I try to talk about our feelings. I'm talking about my feelings till I'm puking. But it is unacceptable. It is deplorable, and it needs to be rectified. There have to be consequences to actions, in my opinion. And I don't think that this family is going to let it slide. That's my thoughts, babe. Oh, and then my lovely Dragonfly. Thank you so much for being a member for 1 month, honey. We all love you so much, Kim. And I love you, Lovey. You are too kind to me. And Leah Baker says, Leah Baker, oh my God, girl, where you been? Hey, girl, hey. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And everybody, if I didn't talk to you or we haven't like emotionally connected, I love your face. Question, the 3 ladies of blood loss and the source. Some say medical examiner. Well, babe, I don't know where that came from. Because when I look at the documents that I have seen, okay, like everything that was presented by Dr. Squarty Bello, our medical examiner, by Renee Stonebridge, our neuropathologist, by those ones didn't, the other ones were more Karen, by Justin Rice. We know he didn't remember shit. He's got a case of can't remember shitsowitz. And so I don't know where that came from. It's like been an urban legend, if you will. So we're going to have to find that out. I don't know if there is a document. I can go scour back. Or Lana Del Turtle, are you here? She might not be here. I could ask her on the Twitter because she knows all the shits. She is like, or Olivia probably too would know. I will do research and come back to you. Okay, babes. Now, where are we? Okay. Oh, look at Doc Willow. I love this channel and the chat. See, now listen, because I don't know shit about shit. I just started this YouTube in August. But you know, our good friend Glara, Mr. Will, he tells us that there is something to be said about the chats. And I hope that even if you don't agree with me about everything, I never try to be disrespectful to anybody. I never want to hurt a soul, okay? But I want to present information, and I want to present it in a way that I can, that makes it palatable for you. Okay. And sometimes I do that with a little bit of a yoke. I hit a joke there. Okay. Or if it's something that's very serious, I feel my feels and I'm very, 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 very serious about it. But with that being said, I want there to be a place that is home for you, right? Like, this is our humans. We are our humans, but we allow others that clearly don't, if you don't agree with us, be here. We should be having conversations with people as long as they're not dickheads. If they're dickheads, and to the 10th degree, like you can be a mild dickhead and still be in the club, right? But once you cross the line and you are like, just hashtag can't stop, won't stop, or you're not being productive, you're just caps locking at me. Don't caps lock at me. If you don't have something nice to say, it better not be in caps locks, babe. Okay? That's my opinion. And Will told me, he said, the chat is everything. The chat is how you know who the human running the show is. So I hope we do a good job. And we are me and Kino, my dog, who works at a factory. Okay. Oh, Maddie Wags, agree and love you. Thank you. Oh, loveys, you're the best. Okay. Bye, guys. I wish you the best night. Everybody's leaving. They said, what do we do? Oh, this is important. This is very important. I want to take a moment with me. Okay. Where is Jimmy? Did he run away with Jewel? Good time, Julie Cop? Yeah, he did. Allegedly, they are watching 90s Disney movies together tonight. I wasn't invited. So with that, I leave you. I love all of your faces. Tomorrow I'm going to be on Brit's show, and I also may have to do a thing, I might have to stream as well, but I might not. And I wish you an incredible Sunday. I wish you a wonderful rest of your night. I love you so much. Thank you for answering my FaceTime, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.